water. And during that same regression, she actually, and this lady speaks no Spanish, started to speak fluent Spanish for probably about 3 minutes and didn't even realize she was doing it, which was very profound for me because that was the first time anything like that has ever happened. But when she woke up, or when she came back to the present time, that she actually didn't even know she had done it, and I told her that she had. And I think I had it recorded. I gave her the recording. At that time, I wasn't doing it digitally. I was only doing a tape recorder, so I had to give her the tape, and she went home with it. Now that I do it digitally, if I get anything like that, I'm definitely cutting a piece like that out.
Yeah, that's really intense.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh! So what? Do you have another good story like that?
I do. I have another story of a lady down in Calgary as well, and her name I can't remember her name offhand, but not that I should be mentioning names anyway. Right. But she had talked about a life down in southern Florida, where she was a school teacher, and during her regression, she started to speak because I guess she was from the Midwest, and she had an accent in her time in the early 1900s. And she gave very detailed information about where she was, who she was, books that she'd written, and named them by name. And then during the regression, she spoke with a southern accent, and she had a really drawl to every word that she said. And she was so gone. There was no knowing who she was in this life when she was regressed, that she totally was that person. And it was so cool to really recount that life that she lived as a school teacher.
Wow.
And about the books that she'd written. So
pretty intense. Now, I know for a lot of people listening, although you and I talking, I'm about to go off the deep end a little bit, and that's fine, because my program's the paranormal, the unified field, and also the critical mass of expanding consciousness. So a lot of people right now are going to say, that's all fine and well. I'm not really sure if I believe that. But I'm going to go even one step further. I mean, you're very sincere, and I believe that there's something else going on. There's definitely other things going on. I'm about to go a little bit further. I asked you this before at the psychic fair, and I know you haven't had any personal experiences, but I want to know if you've heard of any experiences like this happening, because I've heard of a couple. Have you heard of any past life regressions that go beyond planet Earth?
Yes. I have. I've had a few where people, and just because.
Have you heard a few, or have you been directly involved?
I've actually had my own experience where I was not on this world myself.
Wow. Okay.
Which was pretty intense, and I actually don't talk about it very often, but it was a kind of a scary thing for me, because it was the first time I've ever experienced myself as being something else other than human. And if I was to put it in the simplest way, I look like a fish person.
Yeah.
Which is just, if you ever seen Star Wars and those fish guys with the big eyes, that's kind of how I looked, and it kind of startled me. And actually, during that regression, I had to have somebody come in and actually help out with the regression to get me out, because I was panicking a little bit.
Really?
Yes. And it was actually the trainer who was doing the regression hypnosis therapy training, and I'm really glad she was there, because if she wasn't, and she helped me let go of all that fear or anxiety or stress or worry. And during that regression, I was actually, from what I remember, I was brought to the planet Earth, which is kind of strange. And I don't want to sound any stranger than I am.
I think I heard that wrong. Hold on a second. What do you mean you were brought to planet Earth?
I was brought here. It was in southern Africa. It was like, I don't know at what time, but it was like 20 or 30,000 years ago, I think, where I was dropped off on the planet Earth, and for some reason...
As that entity?
As that entity.
Wow.
And I was left there, and I don't know why, but I think it has to do with me coming here to this planet to experience, and I was meant to be here, and I think that's the way that they brought me here to do that, so...
That is just mind-boggling to me.
It is to me, too.
Wow. But you know what? It's not the first time I've heard that.
No, I've heard it from other people, and I've experienced it through other people. Different things, different planets. Because, this is not the only show in town. There's a billion, trillion other planets out there. And to think that this is our only place to come and go and experience and learn, it's so small thinking that there's a lot out there. Like I said, that's the only life that I am aware of where I was something else. But every other life that I've ever experienced in past life regression has been here. And I'm comfortable with just seeing the ones here right now. And I'll experience the rest when I get there, if I ever go there, to someplace else in the future.
Well, there are a lot of stories in earthling historical mythos of extraterrestrial entities or gods, quote unquote, coming to Earth and establishing, a home base here. So it's not that far out to think that, that may have actually taken place. I'm still curious about your experience, though. You say fish person. Do you remember the details of what you look like?
I don't. Like I said, it's just like I looked like an amphibian or like a type of amphibious person. I was still humanoid. I was not humanoid. I still had a brain. I thought like everyone else. I might have had some abilities that maybe not everybody had. I seemed very sensitive from what I can remember because I was very panicked about where they were bringing me and why they were bringing me there. But it was a different entity altogether that was in this ship or whatever. And, I don't talk about this with too many people. But it was, it's just one of the things, I don't know if it was real or not. I'm just going to go with it and just say what I saw. And if it turns out it was real, that's cool. But if it isn't, it was definitely a really cool experience.
That is really amazing. Shawn Leonard, let's just give everybody out in Radioland one last opportunity to get a hold of you, maybe for a regression, a psychic reading, or to get on this tour or help connect with you with the Lightworkers Paranormal Investigation, and a phone number where they can contact you.
Sure. My website for me is www.shawn-leonard.com. And my Facebook page is Shawn Leonard, Psychic Medium. So if you do a search for me there, you'll find me. And also the Lightworkers website is www.lightworkerspi.com.
Fantastic. And for all you guys listening out there, I'm going to give you an update once I go out and get in the field with Shawn and see if we can get some EVPs. Shawn, you know what? When I first met you a few months ago at the Psychic Fair, and still, I've been beating around the bush. I got to get together with you and get a reading, and maybe even get a past life regression too. I really feel good about it, and you're really comforting and sincere, and you make me feel welcome. And everybody, check out Shawn Leonard and his work, and follow everything he's doing and get on board. Shawn, thanks for being with us today on the Unified Field.
Oh, thank you, Justin. Thanks for having me.
So there you have it. Mr. Shawn Leonard, psychic, medium, past life regression therapist, fantastic person, very sincere, having a good time at what he's doing. He certainly made me feel welcome, and he was very gentle and kind, and you should all get a hold of Shawn here. Let me just move my noodle bowl here. Yeah, I'm having another bowl of noodles. Yeah. Man, I don't know. I must have been Asian in another life, I swear. So check this out. The Lightworker Paranormal Investigation, I'm going to reiterate this again for the third or fourth time here, but they're going to be at Alderney Landing from October 15th to 31st with New Dawn Charters, co-hosting a haunted boat tour, talking about their investigation at historical locations around the area like McNabb's Island, Point Pleasant Park, York Rideau. And if you need to find out information about that, contact New Dawn Charters, either from the phone book or the internet, or go to, let me see, thelightworkerspi.com, and there's also a link to the Facebook page there also, or go to www.shawnleonard.com, or the Facebook page, under Shawn Leonard Psychic Medium. Find out about that boat tour. It's going to be great. You got 16 days to do it. It's going to be cool. And as I mentioned there, I've got some EVPs that I have to go over. I certainly don't have enough time. But when I do, I'll give you an update on one of the future episodes. Great guy. We got a lot more coming up on the Unified Field. We got the Exopolitical Pulse. We're talking about new crop circles. We're talking about abductions. We're talking about, I already mentioned in the beginning, but a huge time for ufology right now. And the idea of craft visiting Earth, what that is up for contention and discovery. The point is that something is happening, but you don't know what it is, do you, Mr. Jones, to quote Bob Dylan. But a lot of people claim that they do know. And like John Mack, I always mention him, he's a real god to me. The abduction phenomenon is a real scenario too. Who it is, why it's happening is not relevant. It is happening to millions of people. The only common consensus or inference we can make is that there is an interdimensional or extraterrestrial species, or if you're Mactonies, and what does he say? Crypto-terrestrial presence here on Earth, checking us out. So we're going to go into that too. Stick around to the Exopolitical Pulse. We've got lots more coming up. Plus we have that MSNBC Leslie Kean interview. This is UFR, baby, and it's Saturday night. Thanks for being here. We'll be right back.
I'm David Suzuki. Poll after poll shows the environment and global warming are Canadians' #1 concern. Politicians need to know you want policies to protect nature forever.
Get involved. Make yourself heard. Find out how at davidsuzuki.org.
On clear nights, do you sometimes stare into the sky, wondering, what would radio be like out there in the stars? Well, listen to the Lost Cosmonauts every Monday night at 10:30 p.m. on CKDU 88.1 FM to find out. Each week, your hosts, Kirk Thompson and Zach Shave, bring you eclectic selections from throughout the musical universe. So, tune in this Monday for another exciting episode of the Lost Cosmonauts. Until then, live long and prosper.
Space is the place. Space is the place, yeah. Space is the place.
Halifax Pop Explosion 2010. 125 bands, 10 venues, 5 days, 1 wristband. Featuring the new pornographers.
The skirts go up before the wall.
Sloan.
Don't you start.
Great Lake Swimmers. The Holdstead. And more. October 19th to the 23rd. Limited passes on sale now through Ticket Pro. Visit halifaxpopexplosion.com for more information.
You are now entering the unified field.
Welcome back to the Unified Field. You're listening to Atlantic Canada's only paranormal radio broadcast. But it's not only paranormal, it's expanding consciousness. It's new science, new technology, new freedom radio, new thought. It's everything in between. Exopolitical, ufological, quandary bounding, whatever you want to call it. This is what it is, and here we are. I need to jump right into the exopolitical pulse, so let's do this. Yeah, so let's jump right in here. There's a whole number of stories I want to get to you first. So here we go. First one I'm going to read is, do you guys know about the UFO in China that prompted the closing of the airports? You must have. This is an old story. If you guys are following anything in the world of the paranormal or the strange or the ufological or the exopolitical, you know the story. But for all you who don't, I'm going to read it for you anyway. This comes from, of course, August edition of... Actually, this is... What month is this? Is this September or... Yeah, this is actually October-November's issue. UFO prompts airport closure in China. On July 7, 2010, officials at the Zhoushan Airport in Hangzhou, China, received reports from the crew of at least one airplane that strange lights were seen over the airport. Chinese airport officials then closed the airport and began diverting traffic for nearly an hour before allowing air traffic to continue, according to Chinese media. The object remains unknown. Soon after the sighting, news of the airport closure hit worldwide media. A YouTube video was posted which included pictures claiming to be from the incident. All but one of the pictures, however, turned out to be random images of airplane lights and possible UFOs pulled off of the internet. One picture was posted by Chinese news and was explained as being taken in the Hangzhou area, although it was taken 2 hours after the sighting that caused the airport closure. Chinese UFO researchers and aviation officials later agreed that this picture was of airplane lights. Still, the YouTube video fooled media outlets who posted the images as part of their stories on the airport shutdown. Yet another YouTube video of a rocket over Kyrgyzstan was recorded on June 30th, 2010 and reported by Russian media, was posted as being part of the Chinese incident. Again, media giants such as CNN and the Los Angeles Times were fooled and posted this video along with their stories about the Chinese airport closure. Since the incident, China has reported an increase in UFO sightings. The People's Daily wrote a story on 8 of these sightings and a separate story on an interesting photo portraying the image of 3 suns in the sky.